born around 1974 to a mother named Calypso. Junior appeared to be so much more. Over the years he began to grow, but like his grandfather Bakalinda and grandmammy Sweet Cariso, the family traits of little boy soca could have never hide with just so. He is the head of the fetting class, the heart of the carnival. He's the jumping legs in the mass, the waistline goes in bacchanal. A mother's child features cannot hide, and this everybody know. So if you're looking deep down inside, soca is the soul of Calypso. Let me hear you. Calypso is soca. What? Soca is Calypso. Sister Chutney and brother Raga also born here in Trinbago. So you're too hard to look no further. I'm sure everybody don't know. If one spirit in child and mother, soca is the soul of Calypso. Let me hear you. Calypso. I tell a lie. That's no lie. Grandpa say when I dead, bury me close. Mommy say Santi Manite. Soca sing bouty Bahia girl. I take the crop fantastic Friday. Why mommy dumb so this skin her back? Soca in tongue instinct and dirty juve. The both of them love to party. It almost the very same. Mommy love to be up in the tent while she's on jamming on radio. Mommy prefer a sit-down event. The son love a truck on the road. Even though things about them might differ, it's one thing everybody know. If you're looking deep down inside, soca is the soul of Calypso. Let me hear you. Ram-pa-da-pa-da. Yes. I see. Soca grow up to be a big man. Now, almost 50 years old. His grandchildren set out and plan to be famous like him around the world. Looking back at all the years, on the things that he made us do, the grands have no doubts and no fears. They have the whole world doing it. Moving to the left, moving to the right. Balancing whole night. Feeling hot, hot, hot for spite. Dingo laying and shedding. From tying we head with cloth like Baptist. To jumping and waving flag to one foot. Soca is a spiritual bacchanal. Just like Calypso. So let me hear you. Calypso is soca. And soca is Calypso. Sister Chutney and brother Raga right here in Trinity. So you're too hard to look no further, cause everybody done. If you're listening to sweet soca, you're bound to hear Calypso. Look at Merchant Son, second star. Nyla Blackman also. Colonel Robert, son of Kitchener. In their DNA is Calypso. When I look at Shal and Bailey, all I see is mighty Shal. Sometimes I just wonder if my real father could have been Trinidad Rio. By now I saw everybody know this guy so is a metaphor, but be aware also, I too was born 1974. They once called me a Calypso singer, cause I couldn't write songs like Sparrow. Since then I write a lot of hit soca, and now I write a hit Calypso. Let me hear you. Calypso is soca. Soca is Calypso. Sister Chutney and brother Raga, but right here. So you're too hard to look no further, but from Pina straight to Toko. The one thing that I know, Skinner Park is the home of Calypso. Let me hear you. But you do so. Calypso is soca, and soca is Calypso. Do it. Calypso is soca, and soca is Calypso. Well, give me soca. Calypso is soca. Everybody make way. Somebody make way. Make way. Make way. Somebody make way. Make way. Make way. Give me the back chorus. What you say? One more time. Somebody say.
Ay, ay, ay. Oh, well. Oh, well. Marshall Montano, he did what nobody has ever done. Oh, Marshall Montano won the Calypso Crown this year in Trinidad and Tobago, singing Calypso. Calypso is soca, soca is calypso. You know, we make a differentiation between the two. Marshall Montano is studying. And so he said he's not taking part in the soca competition this year. And he's taking part in the Calypso competition. He's now the Calypso King of Trinidad and Tobago, which means he's the Calypso King of the world, Marshall Montano. I remember Marshall Montano in the late 1970s, early 1980s. Little boy, they say too young to soca. Oh, yeah, yo, yo. Went on to become the soca king of the world, and this year decided to go in to the Calypso competition, and he is the Calypso king of the world. Marshall Montano really doing it. Welcome to Politics 101 this evening. It's Wednesday, it's our midweek edition, and we continue our coverage of the teacher strike, which is winding up its second week. Tonight we are going to be talking with two teachers. We're going to be talking with Sir Deon Abrams, WPA member, longtime educator, and Apostle Nigel London is also going to be here himself, a teacher, and we're going to be looking at the teacher strike. Welcome to Politics 101, wherever you're joining us from, whether you are joining us from Guyana, you're joining us from the wider Caribbean, you are joining us from Europe. Welcome to Politics 101. Of course, we come on air tonight. I'm reading here that the Guyana Teachers Union has asked the High Court to block the cut in salaries of striking teachers and to continue union dues deduction. So the Guyana Teachers Union has gone to court to challenge the actions of the government for cutting teachers' salary, those teachers who are on strike. They're also asking the court to find it unconstitutional for the government to deduct union dues from the teacher's salary. A new front in the struggle has been opened up. The Guyana teachers saying, no, we ain't backing down. No, we ain't backing down. We ain't backing down as the strike nears the end of its second week. Remember, the teachers said that they were going on strike initially for 2 weeks. Well, the government has not come to the table. In fact, the government is fighting the teachers, taking away their salaries, refusing to deduct the union dues as they instruct the teachers, the Ministry of Education to do. So, I was on a program in the Caribbean this morning, and they asked me, who's going to blink first? Who's going to blink first, the government or the teachers? Well, the teachers don't look as though they're about to blink. They don't look as though they're about to blink. Coretta McDonald was here a few nights ago, and she said that it was the teachers who instructed the union to strike. Please welcome to Politics 101. Please share the link. Please share the link as we come on air tonight. The teachers union has gone to court. They have gone to court to ask the court to find that the government's action in relation to the striking teachers is unconstitutional. A new front has been opened up in the teachers' struggle for bread and justice. The teachers' struggle for bread and justice. Welcome to you all. If you're a teacher, special welcome to you. If you have a teacher in your family, special welcome to you. If you have children who are the sons and daughters of teachers, welcome, welcome to all of you. Tonight we are going to be talking with two teachers as we continue to cover the teacher strike. We come on here tonight with disturbing news also. Disturbing news. You know, when the authoritarian regime begins to act, there is no stop. Let me read a news story that was broken today by News Source. That's Gordon Mosley's news outfit. And the headline is Young Calypsonian Disqualified from Competition Over Cost of Living Song. Education Ministry defends decision. Education Ministry defends decision. The Education Ministry defends decision. Let me read that headline again. Young Calypsonian disqualified from competition over cost of living song. A young Calypsonian singing a song about cost of living was disqualified from the competition by the Ministry of Education. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, our Guyana. Just in case you all are thinking that I am lying, I'm putting it on the screen there for you. I'm putting it on the screen there for you. I'm putting it on the screen there for you. Young Calypsonian disqualified from competition over cost of living song. And look at the young Calypsonian, a child, a little girl. Let's read the story. The Ministry of Education Allied Arts Unit has confirmed that it disqualified a young singer in the children's Mashramani Calypso competition, declaring that the Calypso piece did not follow the rules of the competition. The song about the cost of living and the recent 6.5 salary increase for public servants has become a hit on social media. The young Calypsonian from Berbice, in her song, wanted to know how she would be able to survive with a 6.5% increase, highlighting the increase of food items in the marketplace and bills that have to be paid regularly. The Education Ministry has now ensured that she and her song did not survive the competition, disqualifying her completely. In a statement, the Education Ministry Allied Arts Unit said its decisions are based on established rules that have been in place for many years, especially focusing on the appropriateness of items in relation to age groups. The unit said 2 items were rejected, and the respective schools were duly advised with transparent communication on the reasons behind the decision. According to the unit, the focus is on ensuring that the content presented aligns with the age appropriateness stipulated by the rules set well in advance of the competition. Added that it is crucial to highlight that the intention is satirical content, but to maintain age-appropriate standards. Sisters and brothers, what our Ministry of Education is telling us is that children cannot sing about certain things. Children cannot sing about the 6.5% increase. Children cannot sing about high cost of living. If that is not censorship, I don't know what it is. All of us, whether we are children or adults, we have equal protection before the law. We have the right to free speech. Calypso, like any art form, is open to all categories of participants, whether they're children. Why hold a children competition if you are telling the children, well, there's certain things you can't sing about? Well, we meet where we go in. We meet where we go in. Children cannot sing about high cost of living. Children in Guyana cannot sing against high cost of living. We now meet where we go in.
Tell me how much survive in 6.5. Please tell me how much survive in 6.5. I have a born this one made chest. I can't even rest. No cost of living, everything doubling, this thing troubling. Tell me how I must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Every time I go to the market, everything's skyrocketing. Rice, the beans, the cheese, the liver, them make me want shiver. Tell me how I must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. The other day, the landlord told me rent. I paid him the last cent. Come on, Sylvia, I walk and rent the bill. I paid him against me will. Tell me how I must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5.
Ay. You all know that I play calypso on this program, and there's a reason I play calypso. It's our modern music. And there's some things I want to say tonight. I can say it. I can say it, and I'm going to say it because you all know how I feel about these matters. You see, if that little child had gone up there and wind down and carry on, they would not have disqualified her from that competition. But she goes up there and she's singing a conscious song about cost of living in Ghana. They disqualify her. Let me say it again. If that little girl had gone on there and wind up and carry on, she would have still been in the competition. You see, they believe black children and black people, all God put me on this earth to do is to wind up and carry on. You all understand why I am jealous of black people's culture? Why I am jealous of black people's culture and black people's dignity in this country? That would not happen to a child from any other ethnic group in Guyana. Let me say it plain. They don't mind us jumping up. They don't mind our children going and wind down. And I have no problems with that. Because entertainment is part of culture. But entertainment is only one part of culture. It's only one function of music. Music has other functions. And one of the other functions of music is exactly what that young lady, that child, black people, I want you all to take note. This is no pass. I pass. I played. You all understand why I played Machel Montano at the beginning of the program now? Machel Montano sings jump up and wave, jump up and wave, go down with the big truck. And then he comes back and he sings a conscious song and he wins the Calypso crown. He shows that you win with jump and whine and jump and wave, and you win with consciousness. And he says soca is calypso, calypso is soca. Here in Guyana, they are disqualifying a child for singing conscious lyrics. It is now banned in Guyana. Children cannot sing conscious lyrics in public. Black children cannot sing conscious lyrics in public. Banned by this government. Something is wrong with our country. Something has been wrong with our country for a long time. And some people have been stifling their conscience.
So 5 with 6.5. Please tell me how I must score 5 with 6.5. I have a born one made chest. I can't even rest. No cost of living, everything doubling. This thing troubling. Tell me how I must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Every time I go to the market, everything skyrocket. Rice, cheese, deliver. Then make me want shiver. Tell me how I must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. The other day, the landlord told me rent. I paid him the last few cents. Come on, Sylvia, I walk and rent the bill. I paid him against me will. Tell me how work must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5.
Welcome to Politics 101 on Wednesday night, and I've kept my guests waiting for too long, but I wanted to get that in. Please share the link. We're on tonight. Let me bring my guests in. Sir Deon Abrams, Apostle Nigel London. Gentlemen, brothers, good evening. You have got to unmute yourselves.
Yes, good evening to you. Good evening, Brother London.
Pastor,
Good to be with you again.
Apostle London,
greetings, and thank you for having me here. Good evening.
Thank you
to your
very
viewers
much
as well. Good evening to my brother Deon.
Both of you are educators, and we've come here tonight to talk about the teacher strike. But I greeted you with that shocking piece of news from our Guyana. Let me please get your comments as we start our program tonight. I will start with you, Apostle London. Your audio. Apostle is Deon, you can go ahead.
Yeah, but Dr. Hines, this is not surprising. If you know what is happening with the Ministry of Culture, the artists have been up in arms over the state of affairs in relation to the use of the cultural center, the clamping down on the kind of content in plays and drama. We noted only recently that one actor was told by the minister that he could not be part of a play that was being sponsored by the government. So there is a direct imposition of censorship in culture, in every facet of life in Guyana. We do our programs on the Channel 9, HB TV, Channel 9, Hoyt Blackman channel. And practically every week, they censor the programs. They have the media monitoring unit operating out of the NCN building, a government building. The agency is supposed to be partial. And the Walter Rodney groundings and the news, every program is monitored for the other media except the government media. Jagdio and Irfan and those can go on air and say anything and nothing is done about it. You've never heard of NCN being written, but they send these what they call red letter infringements to the channel, threatening them every week, because if they commit a red letter infringement, then they can shut down the station and all of these things. So every facet of the media in terms of criticism, whether it's drama, whether it's in song, whether it's in commentary, this government is imposing itself on the will of the people. Expression now is not free anymore. It's part of the ongoing process of entrenching themselves in the dictatorial nature that they have created for us here in India, and the apartheid stance.
Brother Deon, I thank you so much for that background and telling us about censorship. But this is a child singing about cost of living. This is a child in a competition. This is not you and me and political activists. This is a child. Have we not broken? Have we not broken another rule of this? Has this dictatorship not sunken lower?
Dr. Hines, you have to understand it doesn't matter for them, child or not. You understand? All their vision is that nothing against them that contradicts their perception of us and of what they want the country and the world to hear and see, that nothing must go out. So they don't mind how it may affect that child. It doesn't matter how low they're stooping, their consciousness doesn't tell them that. All right?
Their consciousness doesn't tell them that.
It's totally out of their range.
Pastor London, let me get you in here. Are you not shocked that a child singing about cost of living is banned by a government that doesn't mind children, black children, running about the place with skimpy dress and thing and winding up and down? Talk to us.
Thank you. And let me again. Yeah, I don't know the quality of my of the stream, and I was here.
We are hearing you properly now.
It seems as though whenever I'm here with you, E-Networks decide to have a field day.
Yes.
But, I must say though that I'm grateful for having the opportunity to sit here and to discuss with you, as always, very candid and quite pertinent matters. Unfortunately, mainly those that affect us as a people in reference to our Africanness. I am unsurprised by this decision because this is typical of a dictatorial, narcissistic clan. They are of the view, I believe, that messages must be sent even to our little children, that there are certain lines you dare not cross. You must remain within a particular confine that they establish for us. And anyone who seeks to go beyond that confine will be met with the strength and the tenacity of a hardcore dictatorship. So this child would have been singing about a reality because her song speaks to the economic crisis faced by she didn't say how can black people survive. So she spoke to how can anyone survive. But the PPP in their usual manner would say, okay, this song, sung by a little African girl, must be met with the response that sends a message to all, especially those of African descent, that you'd better not complain. Just accept what we give to you. And then that is the case. I must say as well that I am certainly high in praise for whoever wrote the song and for the child in reference to singing it. Sing your reality. If any child is listening to me tonight, sing your reality. I hope also that those who have media platforms will invite that said child to sing her reality. They can't ban her from my page. They can't ban her from anybody else's Facebook page. We'll sing that reality. I hope also that when we stand in front of the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports, that child is brought to sing her reality for Ramson to hear it.
But one thing, Dr. Hines,
yes,
by doing that, they are basically trampling on the culture of the African because they don't, it's showing that they don't understand what calypso is.
Calypso is.
Right? And
now you're talking, Brother Deon. Now you're talking. It takes a little time to warm up.
You know, because the calypso in itself initially is music of struggle, right? It came out of that period when Africans were in bondage, and the traditional calypso had, you know, boasting and insult, where they call themselves King this and Lord that and so on. But a lot of the messages were hidden during that period. They didn't want the white people to understand what they were communicating to each other. So, like Lord Chagdas would say, a man and they caught a man in Trinidad having an affair with a boat. The Calypsonian is not going to go and sing a man and a goat pin in a pen. He went up, he sing, bay, bay, you know, and then he talks about a ram goat salvation and so on. But people get the message. The white man doesn't understand that, all right? But it communicated. But today, we see ourselves as a more liberated people without fear. And so what we have to express, we're not hiding it anymore. And that is what they can't deal with. Because the message now is clear not only to us, but to the world.
To the world.
And that's a problem for them.
The attack on the Calypso is an attack on the heart of African culture and African resistance. There can be no African resistance in the Caribbean and the New World without music, without the Calypso. Bob Marley in reggae said it's rebel music, rebel music, rebel music. And the Calypsonian always sings what we don't want them to sing. The Calypso is a weapon of struggle. And these people in power mean to cut us at the level of our culture. And we have to say that loud and clear. My brother, Nigel, I hope, and this Calypso has gone viral. All day today, people have been sending it to me. And, you know, persons have said to me, Dr. Hines, you play Calypso on your program, and we want you to play this tonight. I'm going to play it tonight. I'm going to play it tomorrow night. I'm going to play it as often as possible because we now know what they don't want to hear.
Exactly.
Brothers, we are coming to the end of the second week of the teachers' strike. 3 weeks ago, if anyone had told us that 85% of Guyana's teachers would have answered a call to strike for better wages and salary, for the right to collective bargaining, most of us would have sucked our teeth. In fact, you know, a lot of us have been quarreling and carrying on about Guyanese people and taking a lot of stupidness from the government and not fighting back and so on. Are you all pleasantly surprised at the level of militancy on the part of the teachers and the fact that it's not only teachers who are likely to support the opposition who are out there on strike, but noticeably people who probably voted for the government in office? What a telling story. Apostle London, your comments first, and then Deon Abrams.
Thank you, Dr. Hines, and I must say publicly that I am overjoyed by the strength and courage shown by 85% of our teachers. I am surprised, I must say, by the response of those who, demographically speaking, in reference to electoral demographics, we say this is a stronghold of this party, and I don't like that term, but just a fact. And it's a political reality. And in these strongholds, persons have left the classroom because teachers recognize, and I'm happy that they have, that this is not a political issue in the context that they want to place it as an APNU AFC or Coretta McDonald issue. This is about our realities, Guyanese, where teachers have come to the reality that the one who's paid to be Minister of Education has scant regard for their well-being. The one who's paid to be a president of this country has no regard for their well-being. And as a result, they have got the courage to say that we are leaving our classrooms to stand on the streets of this country to announce our displeasure with the reality we now face. I must say as well that I'm overjoyed, Dr. Hines, that parents have joined and have answered the call. I'm the chairman of the PTA here in Linden, and I have answered the call. Parents have come out to the street with their children, by the way, in Linden. So today we had parents, we had another PTA chairman from another school, we had children on the road, we had other civic-minded persons, because this is morphing beyond that of a teacher strike into a strike of Guyanese saying that we've had enough of the dishonor. And so in the PPP's, politically speaking, strongholds, I am happy to say that I'm surprised by the response, but not overly surprised because the pressure is on every Guyanese who's not in the political elite.
Brother Deon Abrams, you were a teacher. You spent all your life. I know that well. I helped to train you when you were when you a student yourself at the lessons place. You used to practice your teaching there, and you and a number of the students of that era have gone on to be teachers. You are now retired. You reached the rank of assistant principal, deputy principal, as I say. So you have gone through the ranks. You know what the story is. What is your initial reaction to this strike?
It's quite surprising, David, because during our time, we had strikes, but we always felt let down by the fact that only one set of people were involved in the struggle. And our complaint would always be that they don't want to strike, but as soon as a victory is won, then you hear them shouting for the spoils, just as though they were involved in the struggle for the gains that would have been achieved. And so this is totally different. We don't have that issue anymore because several things are at play here. And the biggest, I believe, is the fact that people have become so poor that it has it home to them. That is not a matter for one set of people alone, because it is affecting all of us, right? In such a big way that we cannot sit idly by anymore. The other thing is that in the old times, the PPP could have danced around and said to their supporters that, well, look, man, you got to see with us, the country doesn't have the resources and all of these things. But now we see money being thrown around, $1.146 trillion for the 6.6%, greater than 2023 in a budget. All right. Money going to to Gaisuko, 6 billion for Gaisuko and every other sector. The private people are enjoying the best time of their lives. And then all of the contracts are going to a small clique that is associated with the PPP. Now these people who are throwing their bellies out in the public service, not only teaching, all right, and are struggling to make ends meet, they are giving 6.5%. How we gonna survive with 6.5? And so people have now understood that it's not that they don't have, they have, but they just mean to treat us as non-entities, and nobody is taking that anymore. The strike is in region 8, region 7, it's in region 5, it's countrywide, and this should be an eye-opener to them, but still they're making all kinds of excuses. First it was political, now it's illegal because talks are still going on, and they are not coming around to the fact that people are fed up, people are hungry, people are starving. All right. And so later on, I will give you figures for goods, basic goods that I received from a teacher in Cameroon only today. They too are on strike, protesting on the airstrip every day.
Yes.
In Cameroon.
Yes, the Amerindians are out
Right,
in numbers. Apostle London, you're on the ground in Linden, and of course, Linden is a battleground. If I may borrow an American term and insert it in our politics, Linden is always a battleground. My brother Walter Rodney used to say it's the cradle of the working class.
Correct.
And he spent a lot of time there. Tell us, what are the people in Linden saying? Now, you are surprised. Deon is surprised. I am surprised. We all are surprised at the overwhelming support from the teachers across the board, and so forth. What are the factors that have gone in to propelling the teachers to take this action that has surprised all of us. What are you hearing in that regard from the people in Linden?
Thank you. I think what I'm hearing is what is echoed across the country. And I think Brother Deon just alluded to that. Persons have recognized that there is apparently something in Barrett's mind that says he owns Guyana and that he's going to distribute portions of this country's wealth to whom he pleases. And those for whom he has the least regard, he treats in the worst manner. And so persons on the street, I'm yet to meet one Lindoner who would have said to me that they are against what teachers are doing. All of them with whom I've interacted said it's about time for these teachers to stand up. And then today I've heard even more in reference to the person saying, we have to stand. You see, when it gets to the we phase, I get excited. Yeah. Because I understand people see this beyond Miss and Sir now. This is about us recognizing here that the teachers have been the catalyst in this situation to trigger a response that I believe should be nationwide, should be even in the private sector. Because in Linden, persons are feeling and realizing, because the town is pretty small. So we're seeing here that whoever has a face that sits beside or in the company of Irfan Ali and Bar Jagdeo, they're the ones who are getting streets to be built in Linden, mainly those people. So if you are not affiliated with these people and affiliated to them, and you don't swear and pledge your allegiance to these people, you have nothing to get in reference to the coffers. So Linders are now aware, they are alert, and they are fed up if decided that they're going to act, and act in a manner that sends the strongest message to this administration. And I believe they've received it already, because Linden is about to explode in reference to our response.
In reference to the response, Apostle London here tonight speaking on the strike, the teacher strike. Deon Abrams is also with us. We started our program tonight highlighting the latest story, and that is a young child, participating in the matrimony calypso competition was banned because her song dealt with the 6.5% that was given by the government to the public servants. A child singing a calypso on that topic had her calypso banned by the government because the government says that she's a child and she should not be singing on that kind of issue. I say here tonight, if a child can go on stage and wind up and carry on as we normally have them do, then that child can sing on cost of living. I condemn in the strongest terms the action of the government. It's an attack on the calypso art form. It's an attack on African culture. It's an attack on the right to free speech in our country. And it's the worst form of authoritarianism that we have seen in recent times. This government has overstepped by a long way its boundaries. And the teacher strike seems to have brought out the worst in them. The worst in them. And the lesson here is what struggle does. What struggle does. 2 man and more, old people say. We come here every night, all of us, Pastor Apostle London, Deon Abrams, myself, Mark Bishop, Sherrod Duncan, all of us, we come and we do our work every night. We impart information, knowledge, analysis. And all of that put together brings about a consciousness. And it is that consciousness that I think that we are seeing at work on the streets of Guyana. And the lesson for those of us who are in struggle is that struggle is something that you engage on a day-to-day basis. You don't direct it. You engage in it. Because you are dealing with human beings who have consciousness, who are rational. And when all the contradictions come together, it bursts out in ways that we sometimes don't comprehend. Brother Yussi Kwayana says that as activists, as artists, as educators, we take the people's experiences, we refine them, and we give them back to the people as political nourishment. That's what we've been doing for 3 years, Brother London. That's what we've been doing. Taking people's experiences, refine them and giving them back to the people through these programs that you do and I do and Deon does on Sunday on Channel 9 as political nourishment. And when they get that nourishment and it hits the right spot, 85–90% of them come on the streets. And no matter if they voted for the PPP, they're able to say that this is about bread and butter. This is about bread and justice. This is about us and not about you. Oh, how wonderful the sound, the Christians of Jesus song. We say, oh, wonderful the sound of truth. Songs. When we see feet, the feet of young women marching on God's earth, standing firm in the rain and the sun, and saying, enough is enough. Brother Deon, you said you were speaking to some Amerindian brothers and sisters. They are also important to the struggle. Talk to us.
Of course. You see, the Amerindians, before I deal with them, you remember there have been a lot of mudslinging.
Yes.
And they put up the higher tiers of salaries for teachers, saying that they're receiving this kind of money. But if you're in the teaching profession, you know that every category of teacher has a scale, all right? And that scale is pretty wide. No teacher receives above the lower limit of the scale. So if the scale is 110,000 to 200,000, you get the 110. All right? Teachers have been struggling for years for what they call the bunching of salaries. They have refused to do that. What does that mean? That a teacher who is in the profession for 20 years in a capacity based upon the level at which he or she is, another teacher can come just off the road, be employed, and receive the same salary as that teacher would have been there for all those years. The teachers have been contending that, okay, there is this scale that you have, the bandwidth for the level at which your status, then every 5 years add on something so that at least maybe by the end of a certain period, you is where above the minimum. They have refused to do that. So every teacher who joins you, whether new or old, you receive the same salary as they have. Now, they have been trying to tell us that what teachers are receiving is good enough. And the teachers have done their homework. And what have they found? That this is what they've posted on Facebook, that Priya gets $1,070,000 for her salary. That's the salary alone. She gets $65,000 for house and entertainment as an allowance and duty allowance. This is what is alleged in this document that they've posted on Facebook. She gets $360,000 for a chauffeur. No teacher gets that. And that is about 4 times the salary of the lowest tier of teachers. All right, $360,000 for the chauffeur. $50,000 for electricity allowance. $161,000 for maid allowance. $12,500 for internet, and $80,000 for the garden. All right, it comes up to $1.8 million per month. So they have been living the high life when teachers are struggling in the gutters, and they're telling us that we must be satisfied with what we're in region Upper Mazaruni, region 7. I sent a document to your WhatsApp, Dr. Hines. This protest is saying we're in this fight, things so tight, we're struggling to have a bite. And these are the prices. 1 pound beef, $1,500. 1 pound farine, 1 pack farine, $1,500. 1 pack of milk, $1,600. Cooking gas, $18,000. Right? 1 bag of rice, 10 kilograms, $8,000. All right? This is what the people are faced with. Those are basic items. And the allowance that the teachers in the interland get is can't buy a bottle of gas. Right? And this is the reality on the ground. And this is why people are so mad. And then the conditions under which they have to work is another concern. This is all over the country.
All over the country. And of course, we had that horrible fire there in Madia, which really exemplifies exactly what you're talking about. The conditions under which students have to learn and teachers have to teach. Apostle London, the government has come out doing what it has always done to public servants, going right back to the 1960s, when the public servants had to engage in an 80-day strike because the government of that day, the government under Dr. Jaganu was no hooligan by any means. They said not a cent more. And when they came back to power in 1992, they went even further. The 1999 strike by public servants and so forth, always hostile to the public servants. Now they have come out in the open, come out from the shadows. They are deducting from the teacher's salary those teachers who have gone on strike. They've refused to continue to deduct union dues from teacher salary. Today we hear that the GTU has gone to the court. Pastor London, you have taught, not just in Guyana, I know you've taught in the Bahamas and so forth. So you don't only have the experience in Guyana. That kind of action against your teachers, is that because we care? Your audio.
I was so engrossed in what you were saying because I'm happy you mentioned the fact that I haven't only taught in Guyana. I have never seen an administration treat teachers this way. Never. I taught in the Bahamas for maybe 10, 12, 15 years. I have never seen this, ever. There was industrial action taken, and within moments, we are at the table having discussions, and they have never refused to deduct union dues because it is a legal requirement. If the administration is committed by law to take deductions from my salary, then you can't decide because you get mad you won't do it anymore. That is so juvenile, but still typical of this administration. I'm also well aware of the fact that the way in which teachers in Guyana are being treated, it is just frightening to know that those who say that they care would treat people in that manner. And so even this move to the court and the threats, because they haven't deducted the salary, but they threaten to do so, is a clear announcement that this has gone way too far. Because if you threaten to cut teacher salary and you say that will be reflected in March, it demonstrates that this administration has no intention to have a discussion that will bear any fruit in reference to collective bargaining. What they intend to do is to have a spoon or a fork and shove it down your throat, saying that you must accept whatever we give to you or else. And
or as Apostle London here, so many of you have commented on my dashiki tonight, and I am glad about that. Just in case you all are wondering, this dashiki came from a Guyanese-owned company called Buxton Chic. So you all know the origin. Buxton Chic, they specialize in African wear for men and women, and they have been so grateful to say, Dr. Hines, we're going to treat you like a celebrity. We're going to look after your wardrobe. and I am so grateful for that. In the event you need African wear, they sew them. They have a bunch of seamstress and tailors there, and they sew and they ship it to wherever you want it shipped to. Buxton Chic, a Guyanese owned company operating in the Washington, D.C., Maryland area. You all take this number. It's 240-593-4138. Let me repeat it. 240-593-4138. And they will ship wherever you want them to ship it to in the world. Not just in America, but in other parts of the world. I think they have their agents in Guyana. The name of the company is Buxton Chic. The number to call, 240-593-4138, and their prices are very reasonable. And you are going to get a discount if you tell them David Hines Politics 101 send you. Call her Genevieve is her name. Guyanese businesswoman doing great things and wonderful. Whatever you want, whatever design. The story come all the way from Africa, so it's the real fabric. And then she has workers there who are going to work and produce what you want. 240-593-4138, Buxton Chic, and they specialize in African wear. Tell Genevieve David I send you, and you are going to get a discount. Brother Deon.
Yes, sir.
Teachers are those who keep our society going. They keep our country going. They mold our children. They have to mold the minds of our children. And when you look at the salary that they're getting, the average salary for a teacher in Guyana is $600. That's the average. The average salary for a teacher in St. Martin is $2,800. The average salary for a teacher in Grenada is $1,900 approximately. The average teacher salary in Trinidad is $1,500 approximately. If you are a teacher in Trinidad, the average that Guyanese are working for is a quarter of what the teacher is working for in Trinidad. But here is what is shocking. 65% of our teachers are taking home $600, or put another way, $120,000 per month. Let us say teachers work 5 days per week. It's 4 weeks per month. So let me say they work 20 days of the month. Divide $120,000 by 20. What are teachers taking home per day? $6,000 per day. And this is before taxes that teachers are taking home. This is what teachers are taking home before taxes. And you read just now the prices of tell me, is that not unconscionable in an economy that is the fastest growing economy, certainly in the Caribbean, certainly in the Western Hemisphere, and something in the world? Deon Abrams.
Well, it's more than unconscionable. I mean, it's beyond our imagination to understand why teachers are being treated that way. But if we understand that this is not an issue of teachers, that it is an issue of race, then we get a sense of what we are talking about. Because the public service, the teaching service, mainly, the employees are Black people. All right? In the hinterland, the Amerindians are there.
And we have Indo-Guyanese in Essequibo
and so on.
but the vast majority are Afro-Guyanese.
Are Afro-Guyanese. And that is the major driving force in the psyche of Jack Deon, in that he wants to keep us at a level. You see, his thinking is that once you're poor, you're powerless. And the ability to struggle is going to be taken away from you. So all these threats that they're peddling and putting forward, taking away your salary, deducting your salary, and threatening you to dismiss you, and all of these things. This is because in their minds, they're expecting, or they expected, that people are going to be so poor that striking for a day and having to lose $6,000 is going to be too much for them. So the racism is there, and then the political thinking that poor are powerless is what is driving them. But they don't understand that after a point, there is a point where people will take no more. All right? Regardless of whether you're black, you're blue, or you're brown. And this demonstration is clearly showing that we have reached that point where people are saying that enough is enough. All right? It is the straw of 1.146 trillion that has broken the camel back, because we won that. Now, you mentioned on your program last night that they asked Jack Deon if he could survive on $80,000 a month. Can't respond. All right? Because he cannot realistically, in his mind, contemplate even the salary. They look at the allowances that they're alleging that Prayer is getting. Way above that. The other thing is that we don't know the worth of these people. They submit whatever to the Integrity Commission. There is no check and so on. But the public is never enlightened about what they are declaring their assets. And the thing is, every time there is a 6.5% increase, they get the increase too. But
6.5 of what they already get, yes.
What they already get. So when we're going to get the $6,000, because of the salaries they're receiving, $1.8 million, put the same 6.5 to that and see what they're getting on their salaries.
Brother London, I spend a lot of time in Guyana, but you there all the time. I know why $6,000 a Grange and $1,000.
Right.
And I know when you go in any shop, in any market, with a Granger and $1,000, I know you're really in trouble, because it go like this, whoops. And when you consider that's what teachers take home per day, and then tax it yet. Then tax it yet, and they're not tax it yet. $6,000 per day. Talk to me, Brother London.
I shudder to think about a teacher's reality, and that's because I left Guyana in 2003. I was teaching in a private school, but before that, I was living with my parents. I didn't have to pay rent or any utility or anything. I just worked and had fun driving my car around the place, and it was just fun for me. But then when I returned home in 2015 and saw the reality of our teachers, I wondered, how did they survive? And then I also noticed something, and that is that there's a culture at play in our society that we must address. And that is where Guyanese for years have been taught that politicians and certain people deserve to live way above you.
Yeah.
Indictment. Now that we have oil wealth, as they put it, and now we're the wealthiest nation per capita, we still have this over our heads where people are suggesting that it is okay for a minister in government, or for a member of parliament, a cabinet minister, to earn $1.8 to $2 million per month. And a teacher must earn $6,000 per day. Now, I have a company that's involved in construction, and the lowest paid worker on my site would earn more than a teacher. Now, is that not alarming? So you have to ask yourself, why would someone go to University of Guyana? Why would someone matriculate and do so many things in different colleges and universities? To what end? What I would like to announce in this broadcast, though, Dr. Hines, is that if we are to assess Priya's qualifications and say, okay, then she has an LLB, she's a lawyer, an attorney, Priya would be classified according to the same scale that she posted as an untrained graduate teacher, issuer in the classroom. Let me present to you Dr. Hines. Priya's salary, if she were a teacher today, would be $214,906 before tax. Can she accept that? Would she survive on that?
On that.
Jagdi would have earned the same thing. I have one more for you. Irfan Ali would not be qualified for that. Because he has no true degree from anywhere. Honorary degrees doesn't work in TSC.
Yeah.
So Irfan Ali would not even be a temporary qualified master in teaching. So he paid less than $180,000 per month. Can he survive on that? And in this country must accept that because someone is a politician, they deserve to earn that much. We have committed a grave indictment, and that's why I took my son on the road today. Because they want an 8-year-old child to understand that nobody in this country must believe that they are entitled to being above you because they're political in reference to their office. It must not happen. They serve you, my son. You don't serve them. So do not aspire to be one because you earn a lot of money. Be one because you are in service to the people. You're giving service to your nation. So I took an 8-year-old boy for a life-changing experience that I hope, and he'll go back on the road again. I dressed him for school with his bag because he must understand that this is not a holiday. This is a war.
It's a war.
And in the word of Marcus Garvey, until the philosophy that holds one race superior and another inferior, until we begin to change that, I declare war.
Everywhere is war. The late, great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. took the decision that some of his aides didn't agree with to put the children on the streets to face down the dogs of Bull Connor. That turned the civil rights struggle and took it to another level. My brother, since you have the floor, what message you have for those heroes and heroines there on the road? Mainly female teachers, but the male teachers, and Coretta McDonald was here the other night, and she shouted out the male teachers. Because as men, when we can't provide for our family, we feel so emasculated. As a male teacher, when you take that home, you know that you're not able to provide for your family. It really strikes at your manhood. And we know in our masculinized society what that means for a male. A male teacher is in great danger in a place like Guyana, as much danger as our female teachers. Your message for those gallant brothers and sisters there on the road. Your audio.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean.
Your audio, yeah. Yes. Go ahead.
It's on.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I am with them. I noticed Brother Samaru from Region 2 is saying that this is a struggle that is not going to be given up. And that is a message that the teachers should have. Because if they come off the streets without winning, without gaining something, then the entire, it's going to devastate so many people. And it's the PPP is going to be basically saying, as they have always said, that they are not giving in to Black people, because that's their message. We're not giving in to Black. That's the why they treated the nurses in Linden that way. They've treated, But what they have started, they have to understand that they have created a groundswell that is going to grow. Already, workers at banks DIH in the private sector are on strike, demanding increases. We have nurses, we have doctors, we have other people in the public service who are going through the same struggles. And we're hoping that those other unions are going to follow the teachers and ensure that this government understands that people are serious about their livelihoods. So you are leaders, and don't make them tell you about political. It is about bread and butter.
Bread
And
and
we're all
butter.
facing this squeeze.
Sir Deon
so-
Abrams.
Keep that struggle going, entrench yourselves in it, and come out victorious. Otherwise, you're dead in your boots.
Deon Abrams here, executive member of the WPA himself, a teacher and a community activist and a cultural activist. We come in peace here tonight, and we leave in peace, but we are ready.
Tell me how I must survive in 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive in 6.5. I have a born issue on my chest. I can't even rest. How cost of living, everything doubling. This thing troubling. Tell me how I must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Every time I go to the market, everything skyrocket. Rice, the beans, the cheese, the liver, them make me want shiver. Tell me how I must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. The other day, the landlord called me rent. I paid him the last few cents. Come on, see bill, I walk and rent the bill. I paid him against me will. Tell me how I must carry on with a seemingly one arm. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive with 6.5. Please tell me how I must survive